promotions have only lost 6 games across the past few years. But tonight, they face potentially the greatest test in their history. A Nike FC Cup quarter-final clash against a Heidelberg United side, undefeated in 5 in league play, 6 in total, and the runaway leaders atop the NPL Women's Victoria competition, the defending champions of the Victorian women's top flight. Is a miracle required? Possibly. But if there is any competition designed to bring them, it is the Nike FC Cup final. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company tonight on the Football Victoria YouTube page. I'd like to thank you for your company no matter where you happen to be it here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed anywhere around the world for this clash between two sides that are having very good seasons in their league. As mentioned, Heidelberg United, top of the NPL Women's Victoria competition. They come into this game off the back of a 3-1 win over the Bentley Greens. Manningham United, meanwhile, undefeated in the State League 1 South East competition so far in 2025. They come into this game off the back of a 3-0 win over Croydon City, and now go hunting a black and yellow scalp. 4 changes to the Heidelberg side that defeated Bentley over the weekend. Sawa Matsuda, the runaway Golden Boot leader in the Victorian Women's top flight this year, she moves to the bench, as does Asuka Miyata. Eve Tiktakakis drops out of the side, as does Cameron Barrero and Maya Hyson. But still, a strong 11 sent out by the Burgers this evening. Mia Bailey starts in goal. In front of her, Rosie Wild, Sarah O'Donoghue. Steph Galea, the skipper, gets a start, having an injury-ravaged campaign, but will have an opportunity to run out potentially a full 90 minutes tonight. Bronte Peel, Caitlin Carriage gets the nod in what is a Heidelberg United debut after signing mid-season from Melbourne City. Tamar Levin gets the nod. Molly Burke, Isabella Wallhead, Heidi Drahl and Erin Tarrant. As Manningham United work on the ball, Nagi Shiva battling for it. Futsal player who landed at Manningham at the start of this season, rocked up, asked, "Do you play football?" Yes, indeed they do. And now the futsal player has turned outdoor footballer, scored the goal that sent Manningham through to the quarterfinals, defeating FC Clifton Hill at the home of the Matildas, as an effort is swung in on goal by Levin. Eventually cleared away by Chibba. For Manningham United, well, if they are going to pull off an upset, they have safe hands from which to build upon. Melissa Maisels, the former Melbourne Victory goalkeeper, the former Heidelberg United goalkeeper, gets the nod in goals. In front of her, Alana Fenton, Abby Collins, Julia Galatas, Romy Heasley, Lola Button, Stephanie Doofus, Elliot Pantazopoulos, Yana Pangalopoulos, the aforementioned Chiba, and Tamika Jose. Burgers trying to set the tone early, extended period of attack. Carriage was able to turn and start to move towards the corner, but she's marshalled well. The ball rolls out, and it will be a Manningham ball. The signal is sent by Melissa Maisels. This one will be going long. Made 38 appearances across the league for Heidelberg United, didn't Melissa Maisels, back in the 21 to 23 seasons. Wild sends it across the wall head. Switch of play from left to right for the Burgers. Now sends up the flank. Steph Galea is going to give chase. She won't arrive in time to fetch it. Instead, the Burgers will have to make do with a throw-in. Pantazopoulos setting the ball out for Manningham. Chiba battling for it well down there for Manningham. And whilst the Burgers initially won it back, unable to retain possession for long, and it's going to be a throw-in. Nagi Chiba entering today as one of the leading goal scorers in the Cup for Manningham. She has 3 to her name alongside Lola Button, the number 9, playing on the right wing today for Manningham. As mentioned, defeated FC Clifton Hill at the home of the Matildas to set up this meeting with the Burgers. Prior to that, 5-0 win over Noble Park, 5-0 win over Monash University, and a 3-0 win over Barton United. Barton United, coincidentally, their next opponent in league play next week after this week off in the state leagues. And the first meeting between those two sides back early in the season, 5-1. That ball is hoofed out by Mazels. Alana Fenton just tried to knot it on. There were no teammates lurking to pick up the second ball, so the Burgers come up with it. Fenton, the leading scorer for this Manningham United side. She's got 2 in cup play, but 6 in the league, so 8 across all competitions. Fenton, one of several players who's been with the club a while. As they run back as the Burgers will have an opportunity here. Peel. Let it come to her. Cuts back onto the right peg. Manningham. Numbers back behind the wall, presenting a mass of blue shirts blocking off the road, and it's done enough to see off the Heidelberg attack. Getting applause from the Manningham contingent in the stands here at Olympic Village. The distance between Petty's Reserve and Olympic Village, not too great. So a good contingent of Manningham supporters in the crowd tonight. A few juniors as well. There's another Heidelberg attack, breaks down. Heidelberg United booking their place in the quarterfinals with a 4-0 win over Caroline Springs George Cross in the round of 16. Nominally it went down as a 3-0 win over Brunswick Juve in the round prior to that. It was actually a forfeit win, so just the one game actually played by Heidelberg thus far in their cup run. Peel bursts down the left, whips it in, but Mazels strong with the claim. Fenton battling for it for Manningham, unable to come up with it. And her opposite, number 3, Rosie Wild, takes possession for Heidelberg. Little 1-2 to spring Steph Galea down the right. Whips the ball in. Can't beat the first defender. Another opportunity, though, coming for the Burgers. Tarrant. Come in, Galea with a cutback. Heidelberg getting the ball into these dangerous areas, but then confronted by a wall of light blue shirts every time. And when they are able to get shot off, as they were just then, safe as houses, Melissa Mazels with the block. But just about 8 minutes ticked away here on the scoreboard at Olympic Village, and we are seeing what could have been predicted as the theme of this game emerging. Heidelberg doing the vast majority of attacking. Manningham searching for something on the break, an opportunity to get in behind the Burgers backline in transition. Dryle with some fancy footwork there, the Kiwi Youth International. Final ball though. Just not quite there yet for the youngster. Back in the country after spending some time in Aotearoa, preparing for the Under-17 World Cup. And Mozels can have ourselves another long clearance. Fenton holding play up. And had Stephanie Doofus arriving to provide a bit of support, but Heidelberg coming up with it once more. Pass in to take the ball to Dryle, and then the ball knocked in behind. Carriage turns on the Jets. Looking for the byline. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? You can be the judge because the end result is the same regardless. Goal kick. Chuba turns it around the corner. All lashed off Heidelberg player, so Manningham can have a throw in the Burgers side of the park. Players of all stripes battling for it. Eventually it's going to be the Burgers coming away with it. Poked out in front of Carriage. Mozels is out, charged down by the Burgers attacker. It will fall. The goal is open, but it's blocked. Desperate defending by Manningham. Denies the Burgers the opening goal of this game. Eyes, no doubt, would have been lighting up in the Burger dugout, but scrambling back, Manningham yet again finding the answers. Manningham throw in, defensive right flank. Now it's a Heidelberg throw in, attacking left flank. Carriage, nice turn. Force backwards. Bit of pressure put on there to Wild by Fenton, but she kept her head, and now the Burgers come streaming down the right. Tarrant sends it back inside. Living on the ball. Dryle takes it around one challenge and a second, still going, and then the long range effort. Comfortable collection from Melissa Mozels. Well, a button. Just trying to turn on the Jets and get going down the right flank, but she was well marshalled, well wrangled. Here comes Heidelberg once more. Maisels is well out of her box. Carriage has taken it around her. Can Caitlin Carriage find Steph Galea? Yes, 1-0 Heidelberg. The breakthrough arrives through Captain Courageous for the Burgers. Melissa Maisels, all or nothing with her attempt to clear the ball away. Carriage, in her Heidelberg debut, took it away from her, and there arriving was the veteran. And Heidelberg, in the 14th minute of this game, have a 1-0 lead. So now, how do these two sides respond? Heidelberg United will have entered this game knowing that the onus was on them. The expectation would be that they would win this game, and, in all fairness to Manningham, that they would do so rather comfortably. Now the breakthrough has come. Do they keep the pedal to the floor and look for more? Or do they ease off? And Manningham were resolute early. You saw the desperate defending, clearances, block shots. Can they rally back quickly? Find the immediate counter-punch. Wallhead. We've got Tarrant on the right. Pass is wayward. Picked out well. Lola Button trying to work her way into space, but a good recovery. Demonstrated initially by the Burgers. And then the pass into space from Alana Fenton, finding nobody wearing blue. Now an opportunity, though, for Manningham potentially to press, set up a cordon. Get set up in their mid-block now. And Warhead knocking it around between each other before the ball, which sent maybe speculatively for a run of Carriage, was well away from the Burgers' number 12. Chibba plays the ball into space for Button. Lola Button back onto her left. And the ball to the top of the box, just gets away from her target in Fenton. Now Heidelberg will get a transition. Well done by Manningham. Seeing off that danger, and even if not able to fashion some sort of transition through Collins on the left, at least earning a bit of respite and an opportunity to resume their defensive shape. So many of this squad very familiar with each other, having come up through the ranks, earning promotion from State 3 to State 2 and then State 2 to State 1. As that ball is played over the top, but Maisels, aware of the danger. Out to clear, not too convincingly though. Carriage seizing upon it. Wild now, the cutback. Carriage denied by Melissa Maisels. Another ball out. Fenton direction. That was really between Fenton and Button. Peel. Referred to her as Wild before. It's in fact Bronte Peel. And that, the flag has gone up. Molly Burke just straying into an offside position, and that attack will break down. Peel's pass into O'Donoghue. I'm under some decent pressure there from Stephanie Doofus, but was up to the challenge. All played in speculatively for Steph Galea there. Played Samar Levin. Just not quite coming off. Levin, of course, just coming across in the mid-season window. Brace on debut against Burundara, and then 2 assists against Bentley in her second game. Signing from Brisbane Roar. So maybe the chemistry between her and Steph Galea, who has been hampered by injury this season, just not quite there. Miscommunication there. The ball was intended, I think, for Shiver, but Steph Galea got back to pick it up. This is good from Heidelberg. O'Donoghue bustling forward. Getting it out to Peel on the left. She'll have an attempt, but not catching it flush. Thanks to the pressure of the Manningham defence. And the ball out for Chibber. You need to get her head on a swivel there because Steph Galea was coming. She takes stock of possession, sending it back to Maisels. Long ball forward. Fenton, the intended recipient, but Rosie Wild beginning to key in on that option. Maisels to Fenton and nipped in front. Galea now. Peel was the only player waiting in the middle and needed a more acute cutback from that, which was always going to be a very difficult ask given the circumstances. Maisel claims. Again, Fenton is the target. Brings it down. That's a nice ball around the corner. And you could see the thinking there, that the attempted pass from Steph Doofus, wanting to pick out the on-rushing run of Lola Button, just not coming off. Wallhead. Trying to thread the eye of a needle. Didn't come off, but Carriage was there to pounce upon the Loose ball. Burke sends it across to the right flank. Carriage has made the run. That's where the ball goes. Carriage, she's through on goal. Can she finish? Can't get it past. That's the Maisels. The keeper has been busy, but has been rather comfortably up to the task for much of this game. And now, Manningham looking to spring forward. But got it to Fenton. Then the return pass. Can it find her? She charges down the attempted clearance, battling hard for it. There's Lola Button. Burgers forced back to Mia Bailey in their goal. Button, one of the players on the score sheet against Croydon City over the weekend. Arrived from the Yarra Jets in the off-season. Button scored 16 goals in 13 games with the Jets. Also spent time with Geelong Galaxy previously. Bit of a difference in geography, really. Manningham and Yarra, rather close by, but then you get Geelong in there. Ball in dispute, claimed by the hosts. Ball down the left for Carriage. Peel is pointing where she wanted it in the middle. Carriage instead. So two late arriving teammates. Couldn't find either of them. Ball out for Fenton. She couldn't control it. And then just lets Molly Burke know she's there in the aftermath. Molly Burke just looking at referee Daniel Papadakis, just making sure you see that, right? Just look it away. Actually, maybe a bit of frustration beginning to come through for Fenton. She's has to do a very difficult job out there, holding the play up against a high-class Heidelberg defence. They've only conceded 19 goals across the league thus far this season. As O'Donoghue turns, looking for goal and flashing across the face and over the bar. So another goal kick, and this one not quite the same distance as others from Maisels in the Manningham goal. Heidelberg have themselves a throw-in. They're attacking left flank. Peel stood up. So able to work away past her marker, but it's good recovery shown by Galatas to send the ball out for a corner. So set piece opportunity coming for the hosts. Tamar 11. Standing over it, you can see the wind that she'll have to contend with. That flag next to her fluttering in the breeze, so she keeps it along the ground and goes short. Carriage, though, close down quickly. Now Levin, high ball to the top of the box. Brought down, and Maisels somehow has swallowed that up. The ball, for all intents and purposes, looked like it was about to scoot through and double the Burgers' advantage. Now, Maisels, I wonder what she squats, because the sheer leg strength to just capture that ball and keep this game at 1-0 Heidelberg. Manningham keeper is putting in a shift tonight. Steph Galia's goal, remember, coming after she'd come charging out of her area to try to clear away a long ball over the top. So one was being pedantic about it. One could point out that Heidelberg have yet to actually beat Melissa Maisels when she gets back to defend. Now here comes the latest test. Cut back. What a save initially. And then, well, the rebound found the back of the net, but it's not going to count because the flag was raised. And Melissa Maisels, looks like she maybe copped a heavy knock there, but the reaction to deny that, I'm not sure if it would have counted for offside. I'm guessing not. But really, that one of those highlight saves that even if it doesn't go down officially, just demonstrates the remarkable form that this keeper is in tonight. And thankfully, she's back up on her feet, clearing this away. No backup keeper on the bench for Manningham tonight, so the last thing they need is for their first choice to come a cropper. Heidelberg ball. Tony Droll. Carrick lets it run. Didn't like what she was seeing as she scanned around, so she'll just send it back to Wild. And Wild with a ball over the top. Tarrant will gamely give chase, but quickly run out of real estate as the heavens open up here at Olympic Village in a flash. From 0 to 100 in a hurry, and then maybe easing back off to 50 or so. And you wonder who that will favour. It will mean that the ball will likely start to skid around a bit more on the surface, move a bit quicker. Will that aid the Burgers in their attempts to unlock this defence, or maybe will some of these attempts to get in behind the Heidelberg backline by the visitors find a little more joy? Well, so Donahue had dropped deep to receive, lost the ball, but then Manningham unable to just capitalise on it. It potentially just signs that this defensive shape of Manningham is frustrating the Burgers a little bit and starting to maybe force a few turnovers. Pressure applied there. Heidelberg able to come away with it, moving the ball from right to left. And that pass intended for Carriage, picked out. Coming through like a freight train. That's Tamika Jose. I difficult task for Jose and Ellie Pantasopoulos tonight. Caitlin Carriage, young Matilda. Melbourne City signed player. That ball over the top. There's a lot of space here. Can Heidelberg capitalise? They will. The second goal arrives. Bronte Peel. She gets her first goal in Heidelberg United colours. The bench reacts. And Heidelberg United, just after the half an hour mark, passes here at Olympic Village. They will double their advantage. They've been asking significant questions. And finally, just the space opened up in front of Bronte Peel. And after coming down from northern New South Wales, she has her first goal in yellow and black. And Heidelberg have themselves a 2-goal lead. O'Donoghue just has it poked away from her. Galea collects, working against Panagopoulos. Attempted spearing ball forward for Fenton, picked out. Wallhead, a natural centre-back position. Stretches the play out to the left. That's a good ball in behind for Bronte Peel. And then she's going to slide it through. Is this the third? No. Samar Levin. She's got her angles wrong. Sends it wide. And with 10 minutes remaining in this opening stanza of this Nike FC Cup quarter-final, the score remains Heidelberg United 2, Manningham United 0. That ball headed down, Carriage holds the play up before spreading it out to the right. Manningham able to get numbers back and behind the ball, forcing the Burgers to recalibrate. And in the end, the attack breaks down. One of those turnovers delivered by positioning and shape rather than a tackle. And the end result is the same. Manningham have the ball. And again, they're going to go long. That one looked like it was intended for some kind of run of Lola Button. Just straight out. Heidelberg ball. A few inches inside their own half of the park. 11. For a while. Wallhead. Lady Droll. 11 again. Ronnie Heasley and Lana Fenton doing a good job to just get bodies around the ball. Yeah, but there's space opened up here on the left. Bronte Peel, she has one. This time she's going to cut it back. They're queuing up the Burgers. Can they get a shot away? They can't. Great defensive work. It was Lola Button getting back and then bundled over by Carriage. And the speedster for Manningham. It's going to earn her side a free kick. Well done. Got it on by Chibber. Fenton's going to give chase. Battling for it with Wild. Very physical. The referee tried to let them play as much as possible, but in the end, the referee, Daniel Papadakis, reached his limit and blew the whistle. Coach Paul McCarthy's side continuing to fight as we approach the conclusion of this opening half. The margin 2 goals to Heidelberg as that ball is sent in. Just escaped the head of Levin. Falls to Peel. She cuts inside and has her shot blocked away. Lola Button's attempted ball down the flank, picked out by Droll. Now in the Fenton direction. She'll hold the play up. Who's arriving to support her? It's Button. Chibber calling for it in the middle. Said the winger just eyes upfield. Wanted Fenton. Now sent in the Chipper direction. O'Donoghue fell over, but was able to just knock it to a teammate's advantage as she did so. Attempt to play the ball into space down the left flank in front of Bronte Peel. Said Levin's going to get there. Cut back. This should be 3. It is 3. Steph Galea. Relatively muted celebrations. To the extent that I almost thought she'd missed for a second, but no. The Heidelberg skipper has her brace. And Heidelberg United, with just about 5 minutes of regulation remaining, have that 3-goal cushion that has them well on their way to the semi-finals of the Nike FC Cup. And well, Galea now with 2 goals, she moves level for Heidelberg's leading scorer in this cup run. As mentioned, they've only technically taken the park once, that 4-0 win over Caroline Springs, George Cross. Sawa Matsuda, who's on the bench tonight, got a brace in that game, so it's now the Japanese attacker and Galea that share the cup lead. Galea, with just the 1 goal in league play, has a bit of work to do before she tracks down Matsuda's 15 league goals. Strong sliding challenge from Tamika Jose. Elicits a cheer from the Manningham contingent here in the stands. Cleared away. Fenton just trying to work Wall head away from the ball, but the defender up to the task. Wallhead, of course, making a return to Heidelberg. Mid-season addition from Perth Glory was here at Olympic Village back in 2022. Got to be tough if you are a Manningham attacker. State League 1, you're on a great run, but then you get here in the cup run and you're faced with a defender just fresh off their A-League women duties, former junior international. Centred around the corner. Nobody there wearing blue to meet it. Shiva was the closest. Galea dropping deep to receive. She lays it back to Rosie Wild, who takes a nice touch before knocking it forward, but the flag will be raised before Caitlin Carriage can make anything more from it. Zels with a long clearance. And again, just trying to work her defender underneath the ball. O'Donoghue for Heidelberg. Burke. Levin around the corner for Peel. Bronte Peel, dangerous little ball for Carriage, whose radar is off, setting a left-footed effort wide of the post. That, though, one of the best attacks that Heidelberg have put together all night. Quick and incisive with their passing to set up the newly arrived Carriage for an opportunity that a lot of the time she will be at least putting on target, if not putting in the back of the net. Chibber underneath it for Manningham. Spills out the back. Fenton arriving. Working against Wild. Peel's first on the scene for the second ball. Ball pass there by Tarrant. It's picked out. Collins' attempt to find the central teammate though. Unsuccessful. Free kick for Hazels. Out there on the left, close to the Heidelberg dugout. Goes straight to Collins. She's pressured, but Manningham will retain possession. Shiver and Collins are there. Collins lets it run. Wins her side another throw in. So moving forward in drips and drabs are the Blues. Fenton providing an option. She's the intended recipient. Chests it down. Shiver. Fancy footwork to take her around a couple of defenders. Still on the ball, Shiver. Forced backwards by Steph Galea, but Manningham recycle possession, but they won't get the opportunity to launch forward once more as the halftime whistle sounds. 45 minutes in the books here at Olympic Village in this Nike FC Cup quarter-final, and it is the hosts, Heidelberg United. Second half of this Nike FC Cup quarter-final between Heidelberg United and Manningham United is underway. And if you are just joining us here for the commencement of the second 45 minutes, it is the hosts, Heidelberg United, the league leaders in the Victorian women's top flight, that have 1 foot in the semi-finals of this state knockout competition. A 3-0 lead at the halftime break, delivered by a brace from captain Steph Galea and a solo strike from Bronte Peel. Manningham United, State League 1 outfit, have been battling hard, been dogged and determined in defence. Melissa Maisels in particular, despite the 3-0 scoreline, has been huge for the visitors, producing some massive saves for them. But the odds well and truly stacked against this group of underdogs if they are to produce some kind of miracle to get themselves back into this one. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us for this second half on the Football Victoria YouTube page. One change at the break made by Heidelberg United. Bella Wallhead making her way off the park, replaced by Aska Miata. So one of the problems, if you are one of these lower ranked sides, unfortunate enough to draw the likes of Heidelberg United in the cup, even when they are rotating players and the like, the reserves that are coming into the lineup are often good enough to start for most sides, and the rested starters, well, they're heck of additions laid on. But here comes Manningham, trying to get something growing through their speedster Lola Button. Breaks down on the edge of the area. Big coming together there. Appeals from both sides. It will be a Manningham ball. Free kick against the newly introduced Aska Miata. Chiva winning the free kick. So set piece opportunity for Manningham. Chiba to deliver. Certainly taking a heck of a run up at this. Tall timber forward for the visitors. It's a decent delivery too. Bailey came with the punch. Follow-up attempts. And the most convincing from Romy Heasley. And the Burgers come away with it. Now steaming forward. Ball out to the left flank. Manningham trying to break in transition. Button just had it caught up underneath her. Did well, dug it out. Sent it to Fenton on the right. Working against Tarrant. And it'll be a Manningham ball. So players getting forward. Tamika Jose sprinting to the top of the box. And now everybody packing in around Mia Bailey, awaiting this corner. A couple of set-piece opportunities for Manningham in quick succession. The free kick delivery was excellent. What can we see with this corner? It's another good delivery. Punch from Bailey. Second ball up for grabs. Bounce out to Chiba. Another good delivery. Another punch from Bailey. Manningham asking a few questions of the hosts in these early exchanges, winning some set pieces. Some fine delivery from Nagi Chiba. Galatas appealing and will be successful with those appeals. Manningham ball. The Winner of this game will play the winner of the other quarterfinals taking place. Bayside Argonauts against Bundoora United. So guaranteed to at least have one non-top flight side in the final four of this competition. Great to see. Fairy tale stories, the Cinderellas, what cup football is all about. The other semi-final will pit the winners of Bulleen and Alamain's quarter-final against the winners of South Melbourne and Spring Hills. Here comes the turnover. Pantazopoulos did well to win it initially, got it to Fenton. And Heidelberg, scramble, win it back quickly. Bayside Argonauts against Bundoora United and Bulleen against Alamein, both happening tomorrow night. You can catch those games live and free on the Football Victoria YouTube page as well. South Melbourne facing off with Spring Hills on July 2. You guessed it, that game also on the Football Victoria YouTube page. Comfortable collection for Tarrant. Bayside Argonauts, in fact, fielding the sides well. We'll come back to that thought as here comes Heidelberg once more. The appeals for offside are waved away. Is this the moment where the Burgers can get a fourth? Sent out to Steph Galea on the right. Angles shut down in front of the Burgers skipper. Just see the numbers that Manningham are getting back behind the ball. And Levin was forced to retreat, and in the end, the attack repulsed, but you can see there. Now all 11 players back behind the ball for Manningham. All hands on deck to defend. And almost forcing a turnover there. Collins was lurking. A heavy touch would have seen her nip it away. Ifs and buts, however, as here comes Steph Galea. Clever pass. And the effort careens off the post. Galea looking for the hat-trick. Denied. And then cleared away by Panagopoulos. And Collins is going to give chase. And coming across is Aaron Tarrant. Just putting the ball out. And there's Heidelberg preparing another change. Rosie Wild is going to make her way off. Catherine Vlahopoulos set to enter the fray. Back-to-back sub-appearances for Vlahopoulos. Came off the bench in the win against Bentley Greens on the weekends. 2 goals across 13 appearances in league play for the 23-year-old. And that will see another reshuffle from Heidelberg as Vlahopoulos goes into the midfield. Looks like Aska Miata has gone to one of the centre-back positions. So both centre-backs subbed off by Heidelberg. Tarrant. A heavy touch allows Button to come up with it for Manningham, but Peel working hard, winning it back. That jolt of energy that can only come with an error. All intended off the outside of the boot to just roll in front of Steph Galea. Mayzels gets there first, and then a little exchange there between the two friends, the two former teammates. Friendly one, of course. But here comes Manningham, an opportunity perhaps. It's played through in behind Button. Can she get there? No, she can't. Agonisingly close for Manningham. Probably their most threatening look on goal from open play thus far. They've had a couple of good deliveries from dead balls in these opening exchanges of the second stanza, but the kind of attack they've been looking for tonight. And that will no doubt give them a bit of confidence as they continue to poke and prod and look to land a blow on the hosts, who look to immediately counter and put down any thoughts of a challenge. And a lot of space here for O'Donoghue as she gives pursuit of that one, collects. Stood up, looks for the byline, goes down, and it's a penalty. Relatively simple in the end. She worked away past Tamika Jose. Desperately scrambling to try to get back was the Manningham defender. And it looks like Mia Bailey's going to come up to take. So, Melissa Maisels welcoming her opposite number to her penalty area. Few manned games, no doubt. Cheeky little kick of the penalty spot from the Manningham custodian before she makes her way back to her goal line. So, Mia Bailey, the Queenslander, pointing where she's going to put it. Babe Ruth style, calling her shot perhaps. And she sends it into the back of the net. 4-0, Heidelberg. So after Manningham showed some guts and determination, asked a few questions of the hosts in these opening stages of the second stanza, Heidelberg United, ruthless as you would expect from the defending champions, aside with aspirations of a potential treble. Nike FC Cup to go alongside their pursuit of a premiership and championship. They make it 4-0. There's changes coming for Manningham. Abby Collins coming off to be Romy Heasley making way as well. Yana Malapanis, one of the players that has come onto the pitch for Manningham. Paige Yaka, the Kiwi, also joining her out there. One of the other new additions to this side in 2025, Paige Yaka. Moved out to Melbourne at the start of this year, did the whip around. Whoa, awkward ball there. Very dangerous bouncy, just getting away from Shiver. And then Mia Bailey, well, had to be awake. To be aware after putting Heidelberg up 4-0 from the spot, because that could have easily bounced through. Tarrant lays it off. Not the best pass. Well, Button had a good sniff of it. But Heidelberg eventually coming away with it. Carriage. That's a good ball around the corner. It's an excellent ball around the corner. Molly Burke whips it in. Chested down. Can the Burgers get a shot off? Steph Galea denied. But the danger not cleared. And again, the Burgers go searching for a fifth. That pass from O'Donoghue. You can see the head immediately into her hands. She knows that was a poor pass. Miasa immediately winning it back, trying to slide it through for Peel. Cleared away by Manningham. Ball in behind. Peels for offside. And they are successful appeals. The offside trap sprung well by Manningham. Galatas no doubt pleased about it, the right back. Because O'Donoghue was away if that flag didn't go up. Burgers, meanwhile, preparing a couple more changes as well. Would assume that that's Lockhart, Kili Lockhart and Sawa Matsuda. Tamar Levin sends it upfield for Heidelberg once again. Vlahopoulos' pass blocked away. Vlahopoulos can have another go. Sends it out to Burke. First time pass from Galea. The return run isn't rewarded. Instead, the ball is played central. Peel kept her feet. And she's forced out towards the touchline. And Tamika Jose is having none of any thoughts about her being beaten. And instead, the Burgers are going to have to settle for a corner. Will they make the change beforehand? No, it doesn't look like they will. So Steph Galea to take. That one will not go on the highlight reel for the veteran. And now the changes will come. Bronte Peel will make way for Kili Lockhart. And Karich will depart and be replaced by Sawa Matsuda. So as I was saying before, it doesn't really get much easier for Manningham. Caitlin Carriage, the Melbourne City representative, the junior international, goes off. And now you just have to deal with the almost runaway leader in the Golden Boot race in the top flight, Sawa Matsuda. She's 6 clear of Preston's Valentine Percy in the race for the Golden Boot. She's got 15 goals. Percy has 9, as mentioned. She's got 2 in the Cup as well. So 17 goals across all competitions for the Japanese attacker. Scored 27 goals in just 22 games with Keilor Park during the 2024 VPLW campaign, which attracted the attention of the defending champions. Of course, Heidelberg losing Alani Anchevsky this season, the Melbourne Victory representative, not one of their mid-season additions, so did need a bit of extra firepower up front, and Matsuda has more than delivered. Meanwhile, at the other end, Chiba winded her back, sends in another set-piece delivery, bouncing awkwardly for the back line once again, but Bailey, on this occasion, reading it well, coming out and making the claim at eye height. Vlahopoulos grabs the ball in the midfield, sends it out to the left. Offside flag is raised. So it looks like Nagi Chiba had a well-marshalled out there. But the flag made it redundant. Mazel's long clearance out. Miata kept a cool head under pressure from Lola Button. Matsuda had Pantazopoulos at her back, so she laid it off. Galatas sends her back to Mazels, who gets it clear. Just got caught underneath Iaka. And that's going to allow Heidelberg an opportunity to launch forward with another attack. Matsuda is lurking. Had maybe stolen an angle on Pantazopoulos. Doesn't matter. As Maisels made the claim, and now we have a cramp here. Stretching quickly deployed by the Manningham custodian. I think it's Tamika Jose that's gone down. Trainer now called for by Manningham. Working on the left leg. I assume it's nothing serious, as Maisels is certainly applying a good stretching. Oh, well, unfortunately, Tamika Jose doesn't look to be in a very good way. She's really struggling to walk off the park. So Manningham reduced to 10 momentarily. We'll see whether or not the defender is able to come back on, or if something else will be required. Galea. Cut inside well. Vlahopoulos. First time ball over the top. Reacting quickest was Paige Yaka. Heidelberg ball, and it looks like the paperwork has been delivered by Manningham, so unfortunately it looks as though Tamika Jose's night might be over. We'll await confirmation when the fourth official's board is raised, of course. Just over 20 minutes of regulation remaining in this one. As Levin keeps play moving. Then the long-range effort. Maisels watches it all the way out for a goal kick. No, and after all my worry, Jose has made her way back onto the park. So, whatever that paperwork that was being handed to the fourth official, it wasn't relevant. Good to see. Vlahopoulos. Another ball in behind. Steph Galea gives chase. Plays steaming to present a target in the penalty area. Matsuda's one of them. Went behind her. Sent in the O'Donoghue direction in the end, I believe it was. Getting the Burgers lurking. Somehow that's found a way through. And it will be 5. Delivered by the Burgers, number 5. Matsuda gets her third goal of the Nike FC Cup. makes it 18 goals across all competitions in 2025. And the Burgers, 5-star Heidelberg United, 5 to the good against Manningham United. They are headed for the semi-finals of the Nike FC Cup. The visitors preparing to make a couple of changes in the aftermath of that goal. Lola Button, she will make way, replaced by Deanna Ramsey. Alana Fenton will depart as well. Melon Ismailoglu coming on for her. So Heidelberg United, one-time champions of this competition, won it back in 2016. However, 2016 was also the last time that Heidelberg reached the finals of this competition. Reached the semi-finals twice since, but the decider has proven elusive. Most recently in the Final Four back in 2019 when they lost to Calder United 4-1. Last year, as they come forward looking for a 6. Last year they were eliminated by the FE Academy, back then known as FE Emerging, in the 5th rounds, lost 3-1 the year prior to that. Well, Calder United's been something of a foil to Heidelberg in this competition. They lost 5-2 to Calder United at this stage in the quarterfinals. South Melbourne the year prior to that, Alamein doing the job the year prior to that before it was Calder, Geelong Galaxy and Calder again. So the Nike FC Cup has proven an elusive bit of silverware for this Heidelberg United side, but coming off the back of that championship last year, their pursuit of a premiership going well this year, as Bailey, getting these long balls in, they're testing Bailey. Responds well. But Heidelberg United looking for a potential treble, can't be a quadruple. Went down in the Community Shield at the start of this year to the FC Bulleen Lions, with themselves still alive in this competition. And will inevitably get stronger as the season goes on. Coach Caitlin Friend's side bringing in, it ended up being 12 players in the mid-season transfer window. South Melbourne still in the competition as well, of course. And their new coach, Justin Micallef, held to a draw by the FE Academy over the weekend, which saw them slide down the table a few spots. There's a few long-range effort from the Burgers are blocked away. One of the sides that overtook South Melbourne was Alamein, who will face Bulleen in a quarterfinal of this competition. Alamein getting a 1-0 win over the Preston Lions last Friday night. There's the offside flag again, denies Heidelberg. It was Maximilia winning the game late for Alamein against Preston. Nonetheless, plenty to be proud about for this Manningham side. Throughout this cup run, the furthest they have ever gone in the competition, reaching the last 8. And of course, we talked about the back-to-back promotions that they've earned in recent years, from State League 3 to State League 2 and then State League 2 to State League 1. They currently sit 3rd in State League 1 Southeast on 18 points. couple of points back of second-placed Noble Hurricanes and 5 back of league leaders South Yarra. So it's hunting for promotion to the VPLW. Crossing the... As Heidelberg launch forward with yet another attack, but again, the desperate scrambling defending from Manningham sees it clear for a corner. Crossing the State League 1 Northwest race, Ballarat City out in front on 22 points, followed by FC Clifton Hill, who Manningham eliminated, of course, in the round of 16 of this competition. They're second in the State League 1 Northwest on 18 points. Caroline Springs, George Cross, third, 16 points. Fourth is Mill Park on 15. So, as it stands, Ballarat and South Yarra leading the way in the 2 State League 1 competitions. But Manningham amongst a series of sides with intentions on overhauling them in either league. Just over 15 minutes to go in this one. Heidelberg continuing to go in search of more goals. Maisels with a good save to deny. Cleared away by Panagopoulos. And it's going to get sent straight back in. O'Donoghue combining with Tarrant. Manningham just trying to work something, but the combination just breaking down at the key moment. As Ismail Oglu, look of a Ramsey, didn't come off. Sorry, look at Malapanis, not Ramsey. Burke. Pass back. Ismail Oglu making a nuisance of herself to an extent that eventually she draws the ire of referee Daniel Papadakis. And it's going to be a free kick. One taken quickly by 11. Over the head of Matsuda. And a free kick taken so quickly that Matsuda didn't have time to work her way back into an onside position. There's another change being made by Manningham. Julia Galatas making way, replaced by Chloe Randazzo, last year's B&F winner and leading scorer for Manningham. And it looks like there'll be a reshuffle as well as she's taken up a position on the wing. So Randazzo, a late addition to the squad. Wasn't on the initial team sheet, but the change was made and now she's come off the bench. As mentioned in the first half, Manningham will face Barton United on the weekend. Barton, who are 9th place in State League 1 South East. Manningham winning the first meeting, 5-1. So, Coach Paul McCarthy's side with an opportunity to quickly bounce back. And they'd love a goal as well, just to make their mark on this fixture. Won't come as a result of that move. So they don't have Barton this weekend. They have them in the next rounds, but the State League's taking a break this weekend. Shiver with the fancy footwork. And Manningham will have themselves a free kick just inside the Burgers side of the pitch. And, well, we've seen a few of these long balls picked up by the wind and thrown into the Heidelberg penalty area. You've only had to make a few awkward collections. Will this be the latest? It looks like it will. Drilled in. Well, Lapanis, the intended recipient. Would have been a tough ask for her. Panagopoulos with the throw. Ricocheting around. Galea. It looks like she will run out the full 90. Matsuda around the corner for Steph Galea. Maybe she had a brace in the opening half. She'll lay that one off. Matsuda looking for a brace of her own. Acrobatic save by Maisels. The danger not cleared. They're lurking, the Burgers. Vlahopoulos is there. Matsuda as well. And somehow denied. Melissa Maisels. That ball was thundered on goal by Sawa Matsuda, who has been the bane of goalkeepers across the Victorian top flight this season. But on that occasion, she is denied. Steph Galea advancing in once more. Ball across the face. Maisels got a touch. Turned out to be an important one. Corner opportunity for the Burgers. Good defensive header initially, and then Vlahopoulos skies it over. It was Tamika Jose who made the initial block. Chiba with a good ball. Out to the right. Randazzo giving chase. Rapidly running out of real estate, though, and that ball will go out. And the Burgers also, as you can see, made a change in goal late on. Have been doing a lot of attacking up the other ends, but using the cup to give a run to Anastasia Kirasau. "15-year-old. Nia Bailey firmly entrenched as the number one, of course, but the cup, opportunity for her to get a go as the Burgers come forward, and again, Melissa Maisels with a fantastic save. One wonders what this scoreline would be if not for Melissa Maisels in the Manningham goal. Vlahopoulos for Galea. Blocked away. Was her attempt to send something goalward before she recovers and wins the ball back. Steph Galea who, if she features on the weekend against the FV Academy, well, we'll pause as she's almost has an assist here, maybe. No, Vlahopoulos opted to pass instead, looking for Matsuda. And the ball sailed in front of the Japanese attacker. With Keisha Sandu picking up a red card on the weekend for South Melbourne, that will afford Steph Galea to move out on her own atop the NPLW Victoria appearance record holder list if she features against FV Academy. A veteran who finally got to lift a title with Heidelberg last year. Battled calf injuries and ankle injuries and all sorts of injuries as of late. Looks like she's going to get through the full 90 today. And we await to see whether she'll end the game with a brace or if one of these Heidelberg attacks will see the ball spill up to her for a hat-trick. We have had a fair few stoppages in this second stanza, albeit one doesn't imagine that we'll have too much in the way of added time. It's a cold night, it's a wet night, it's a windy night. It's 5-0. Miata. That ball from Levin just slightly under hit, but it's not going to force a turnover. Galea outside of the boot pass. It's a good one. Vlahopoulos, clever control. Back heel. Couldn't find a teammate. And Matsuda, who has one goal to her name, scored the 5th from close range. Denied a brace by a fantastic save from Mizels. Her hunt for another goes on. Levin battling for it with Chiba. Chiba comes away with it. The ball knocked forward. Ismailoglu giving chase for Manningham. She's not going to get there before Tarrant. Sound, the 15-year-old. Sends it back out to her centre back. This press from Manningham did well to force a turnover, but that's where the attack ended. Just for now. One ball forward to nobody in particular, except maybe Melissa Mizels. This game continuing to peter out. As mentioned, we've got Bayside Argonauts in action against Bundoora United tomorrow, as well as FC Bullion Lions against Alamein. The Argonauts, in fact, fielding the leading remaining active scorer in this competition, Narita Shianakul. She has 5 goals for the Argonauts during their Nike FC Cup run. Well behind the outright leader in the competition, Gabriela Francisco of FC Clifton Hill. She had 10 goals during her side's run, helped by 6 goals against Bentley United Cobras back in round 2. As Miata has come through and the dinky chip. The 6-pack is brought up by Heidelberg United. It was a super finish in the end. Very cleverly done, working her way in behind before just dinking it over the top. Muted celebrations greet it, as it was the 6th, and it was also the final kick of the game as the final whistle rings out as predicted. Very few, well, no time added on, and Heidelberg United are through to the semi-finals of the Nike FC Cup. Their hunt for a treble goes on. They will face the winner of Bayside Argonauts against Bandura United in the last 4 of this competition, hunting for a first berth in the final since they last lifted the trophy all the way back in 2016. For Manningham, a historic cup campaign comes to an end. They battled hard tonight. In no ways disgraced against a Heidelberg side that are rapidly emerging as one of, if not the class of Victorian women's football this season. They hadn't conceded a single goal in their cup run coming tonight. They battled hard. They made Heidelberg work for all of their goals this evening. Melissa Maisels, in particular, deserving of mention. She was magnificent in goals for the visitors. One wonders what the final scoreline would have been without the veteran goalkeeper in there. But in the end, Heidelberg moving on. Manningham's campaign comes to an end. Their thoughts can now turn to pursuing promotion for a 3rd straight season. They will have Barton United when they next return to action in the league. Heidelberg United facing FE Academy this weekend. That game live and free on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, as is every game of the NPL Women's Victoria season, every game of the NPL Men's Victoria season. As a reminder, you can catch all of these Nike FC Cup games as well as Doherty Cup games live and free on the Football Victoria YouTube page. For now, though, my name has been Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company this evening, as Heidelberg, 6 of the best, moving on to the Final 4. Thanks and success.